Okay, we'll live. Hi guys, hi everyone, welcome back to this video. We are going to broadcast another game of the Diadachoii League we are playing these days. This one is going to confront Mark and Dave. I'm here with Rod, who's going to comment with me the whole game. Hi Rod.
Hi, how you doing?
So what do we have here? An amazing artillery who's going to face two elephants.
Yeah, so we have Jimenez versus, I want to make sure I can read the name actually, Poly Perchon.
Polypation?
Both successor armies.
Yeah.
And I think the most interesting thing in today's battle is, like a lot of the successor armies, they have a lot of similar elements, but today we have two elephants in one army. I think that's the most elephants of any of the successor league armies, and one artillery in Dave's army. And another thing is that Dave has an allied contingent, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
His light foot, I think.
He has the same ally contingency that it is the same army list that had David quit because that I faced yesterday. So
yeah, David had a
contingency,
similar makeup. Yeah,
I think it's exactly the same, but the ally contingency will be the heavy foot and the 3 rubble. So 5
heavy foot and the 3 rabble. That's right. Okay, that's correct. So the heavy foot and the 3 rabble.
Yeah.
And that makes it very interesting because both of these armies have huge command point sinks in that the elephants take an extra command point and the artillery takes an extra command point, and the allied contingent cannot group move without spending an extra point with non-allied troops. So if he tries to make a group composed of both allied and non-allied, they each need a command point. So there's some heavy command point sinks in these two armies. So I'm looking to see. I don't know. I'm looking to see who is setting up the terrain. It looks like Marc.
I think it's Mark. I think we missed the invasion and maneuver.
Yeah, invasion and maneuver has been done. They're on arable terrain because I think they're both. I think they're actually both arable.
Oh,
anyway.
Actually, I think it's Dave.
Yeah, so Dave is picking the terrain. All right. So Dave must have won the maneuver roll. They're both arable. Yeah, they're both arable. So the invasion roll didn't really matter in this particular scenario. But it looks like we've got some rough, some plowed field, and a village that they're setting out.
I assume the village is the edge one. Let's see.
I'm guessing
1, 2, 3, everything on one flank, which is really interesting because, I mean, it always depends on the terrain roll, but I think the playing field, the open field is going to benefit Mark more than Dave because he has so many light foot.
To some extent, yes, because Dave would like some terrain for his light foot. Marc would like some open terrain. They both have the same amount of cavalry, although we've got a Jav Cav general and a Jav Cav versus a Jav Cav and a Knight general. And what's interesting is the light foot and the rabble shatter elephants.
Oh, that's interesting.
So now they don't have a very good chance against elephants in the open, but they do shatter them. So
and the Jav Cav, okay.
Yeah, and the Jav Cav also are a problem for the elephants. That now the elephants do shatter knights, so it'll be interesting to see. And the artillery won't be. It's not helpless against the elephants, but it's not very effective. They're a pretty tough target still. But the artillery, if placed in the right location, can do a lot of damage. So I'm looking at what Dave is doing. And also the other problem for Dave is, if you look at his card, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. And I don't know. I think that's a large terrain piece, so I actually think that he was supposed to number that as 1 or 2.
Probably yes.
Yeah. A little bit. I don't know about that. I can't tell from looking at it if that was picked from the large, but just by eyeballing, I think that's large rough.
I think so. Yes. Well, anyway, I don't think it's going to affect
Not that much. The gist of it is, though, all of his terrain ended up on one flank, so we know where his light's going to come from. And what I missed
Yes.
is I did not see if the one was his role
Yeah,
or
I'd like to know who
maneuver.
has the flank march, if they
I
do.
think that Dave has a flank march option because I think he rolled a 1.
Probably, yeah. But the maneuver on
Wait a minute.
menace
No,
was
no. He has
4.
a maneuver 3. That would have given him a 4.
I mean,
What
if they've won and the maneuver of Mark is 4, probably Mark has a flank march as well. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it looks like they both could have had flank marches. I'm not sure. We're going to have to see if we see any troops coming in on the flank in reserve.
Yes.
It looks like Dave's got a fortified camp. That's the only battle card I see him play.
Yep. Mark does not have anything. It's
Okay.
interesting. I think it's the first Yevkaf general I see in the league, on the broadcast at least.
Actually, yeah. Mike, the Thracian army that Mike is playing, which is an extremely challenging army to play, he has a Jabcav general, but he wasn't in a broadcast game yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but
But the
he's a Thracian. I mean,
yeah.
he's not that successor.
No, it's in the successor league, but he's playing Thracians because he wanted to. Because he's painting a Thracian army, so he wanted to practice with them.
That's actually smart. The best way to, that's what we did with some games like X-Wing or something like that. You first try the things here and then you buy the army. that way you
Yeah.
know how to play and you know you like, because it's not that you have to like the way it looks. That also you need to pick some armies you really
Right.
like visually, but the fact that you don't like how is it played it's important.
Yeah, it is. I like when people ask me about miniatures gaming, I usually tell them pick something you're interested in or you like,
That's it.
or that you think you can get a lot of play value out of. Like, because you're going to be painting it, you're going to be spending a lot of time with this army. It's not just the play value. There's a whole bunch of different aspects to it.
Yes.
Looks like, so yeah, definitely Dave won the terrain and won the maneuver roll because Mark is deploying his battle line troops first.
He's a disadvantaged
will be
player.
Pike, yeah, pike, elephants, and the heavy foot. And
All
Mark
battle
doesn't
line.
have any. He doesn't have any allied, right? These are all part of his.
Right,
Corps.
I think so. Let me check the list, the Excel. Mark is on the Ares.
Yeah.
Ares.
And interestingly enough, Mark's putting his elephants as far from the bad terrain as possible, which will make it very difficult for Dave to get his light troops on them.
Okay, so yeah, he actually, Eumenes doesn't have allies at all, so he could have picked a knight. Now I see it, but
he's got to adjust his line. Woo! I don't know if that's going to work.
He should know that.
Yeah, he's got a pike now. It's a little bit messed up. It's interesting because I try to explain to when I was teaching some guys how to use TTS. You want to move your miniatures on this game the same way you would on the table.
One by one.
If you wouldn't pick up 8 miniatures with your hand at once, don't do it in the game.
Exactly, yes.
Because it'll end up with a jumbled mess. Anyway, so he's got an interesting battle line. As expected, everybody tends to group their elephants together.
Yes,
because of the pips, the command points.
Yeah. At least in the beginning, if you want to separate them, well, you have to spend only 2 for the group. But yeah, once you go to the combat, the elephants are a pain in the ass.
They separate anyway. But I have a tendency to play my classical Indians different. I like to actually interspace my classical Indian elephants with the foot troops, kind of like they did historically, because it doesn't give anybody a clear target where to strike. And it's already a slow-moving army anyway, and once the elephants engage, there's no formation anymore anyway. So I have a tendency to play them a little bit differently. But when I only have 1 or 2 like this, yeah, they tend to be on the flank somewhere or the center, depending on what I'm facing. Elephants versus pike. It tends to be a shoving match. The odds are that the pike will eventually win the shoving match potentially.
I think so because the elephants are +5 and the pikes are +6. They
And they will
both,
definitely crush the artillery if they get to it. Now, Dave's got a skirmisher or two here. Let's see. He's got 1, 2. No, those are rabble.
Those are rubble. Yeah, Dave
I
didn't
didn't
have.
see the dark. I didn't see the dark figure in the middle there initially. So the rabble are very good against the elephants because they're cheap.
Yes.
And if you shatter an elephant, it's a good deal. But you can afford to lose 2 rabble for every elephant you go after.
But you have to win the third, which is very difficult, I think. The fact that he's placing the artillery in front tells us I think the game is going to go straightforward. And I wish, well, Dave, I think Dave is hoping to kill the elephant before because he only has like 2 shots, right, before the elephant crushes the artillery.
Right. Well, but here's the interesting thing: the elephants don't kill rabble if they double them. They panic them. Remember, we've had this discussion before. It was really interesting.
Right.
So he can put the rabble. He can have the rabble come in and hit the elephants. And he could really mess up Yemeni's line because the rabble will cause the elephants to charge forward, chasing the rabble even if they win, and if they lose, they're shattered.
And if Dave places a second rabble behind, I assume the rabble can go through other rabble bases, right?
Correct. Well, what happens when you panic is you fall back, you're allowed to fall back through your own troops or push back the guys if you can't fall back through them. And then you turn. And once you turn and start your panic run, you can't run into anything. If you run into any troops after that, you're destroyed because you disperse.
Okay.
So the key thing for the rabble, the rabble will be to have a clear path to panic behind. They only run 3, so they're not like Jav Cav or Horsebow. So as long as he has a clear path behind him, the rabble will be able to mess with the elephants and not be in danger of dying outright.
Oh, there you go. The Lightfoot in front of the elephant.
Now, the Lightfoot will do better against the elephants, but there's still only a +2, and the Lightfoot can be killed.
Yeah, I'd place the rabble instead of the Lightfoot. Yeah.
I think he's going to put all the rabble on the side with the elephants, is what I'm guessing, but I'm not positive. That's what I'm thinking he's lining up here. So he's going to want to use the rabble against the elephants because they're cheap. Now, the only thing about it is it'd be really good to hit the elephants on the flank. But the problem with hitting the elephants on the flank, he's not going for that strategy. Interesting.
Oh. So he's leaving... Whoa, that's... He's leaving everything to the shots. I mean, because the Lightfoot can be killed, that's a +5 against a +2.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this strategy. We'll have to see what he's coming up with here. I think he might change his mind after he evaluates.
Knowing what you said, I'd place the rabble in a column and maybe the third rabble behind the artillery just in case it's killed.
Correct.
But besides that,
totally. Well, here's the thing, though. The rabble have a similar ability against Heavyfoot.
Oh.
So, when rabble are in any terrain and they're fighting elephants or any close order foot, except the guys that can shoot. So Pavis would be one that they wouldn't have this advantage because the Pavis can shoot them. But the rabble can attack heavy foot or pike, and they panic. So what Dave's going to do here is instead of using the rabble against the elephants, it looks like he's going to try and break up the heavy foot line because they're +2 versus foot. If they get doubled, they panic and they drag those heavy foot out of line. Now, let's see what Marc's got left in his deployment.
Well,
he also probably anticipates that Marc's going to put a bunch of light foot near the terrain.
I don't think he should. I mean, he could.
I don't think I would.
No.
I would actually probably use my light foot to escort the elephants, and maybe you got to put a couple on each side. But Dave's got an overwhelming amount of light troops on the right now, on his right.
Actually, I would place the Lightfoot on the left flank of Marc, and Also, maybe the jab calf, just to be sure you can kill the rubber and the Lightfoot. And then the skirmisher and the rubble, I'd place it next to the elephants, so it can close doors and everything.
Right, I would want something. He's going to definitely want something to escort those elephants.
Yeah.
So let's see, what does he have? So
maybe it is the Jav calf. I mean, if you go forward with the elephants and the Jav calf, you are facing artillery and Lightfoot, which is not really. There you go.
Yeah.
But also we have to see that Dave has the Jav calf.
The Jav calf don't want anything to do with the artillery unless they can get in on the flank with it. But the Jav calf could run these rabble down in the open. That's the other option too.
I'd place it in front of the rubble. Yes.
Yeah, I think I actually, although it seems to make more sense to put him in the open terrain, I would almost think about putting those Jav cav in front of the rabble. But what he's got right here, that Jav cav general and that Jav cav standard unit, I don't think I would put them next to the elephants. I would actually put them wider than that because they're going to be in the arc of the artillery fire.
Right. Well,
he wants to swing them wide. I'd put the light.
Not quite sure. Yes, the Jav cav is going to be in front of the artillery.
He's already realizing that. It looks like.
Okay, yeah, I'd place another Lightfoot to face one of the Lightfoot, and then the Jav calf, and then the other flank, the rest of the light troops.
I put the rest of my lights to counter Dave's lights, I think. Yeah. So put a Lightfoot next to the elephants, get the Jav cav on the flank. There he goes. That's what he's doing.
There you go.
He better not be listening secretly to our YouTube channel on the.
Well, this is a small delay, but I think he's doing it faster than it should. This is another thing.
He's gonna go all out. Look at this.
Yeah, that's another option, of course.
Yeah.
Ow! Whoa! One of the Jav calf is the general. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. One's the general. That's why you don't want the general to be in front of the artillery.
Yes.
Now the bad part about this particular deployment is this general is going to be all the way on one flank.
That's what I'm thinking. Yes, he should place the general a bit closer. Not there.
No, not there.
Not there. No, you don't want that there.
It depends on what he's got in mind. I would have put him out on the other. I would have put him behind the Lightfoot or somewhere where they were safe, and then I would have swung. I would have wheeled this line, keeping this terrain on the flank and refusing the left flank and swing the right flank in.
I think behind the Lightfoot, where it is right now, but behind a Lightfoot base, it would be amazing because if the Dave kills an elephant or the Lightfoot with artillery, he can replace it before the when he goes to the combat.
Right.
Okay.
Very, very interesting.
So we have a flank fight because unless they turn to each other, they are going to face a terrible situation on both flanks. Okay, first roll for Dave is a 2.
That's just enough to move. That's just enough to move his entire line forward if he wants.
Yes.
If he brings the artillery, which I think he will, to get a little more space between him and the camp.
Buenos días, amigos. Buenas. Don't insult my Spanglish. It won't matter when the terrible dice begin. Best laid plans and all that. Yes. Yes. We always say that the deployment is a huge.
Well, deployment can be a deciding factor in the game, but until the dice start rolling, Mike's right. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And Mike's the other army that I know has a Jav cav general.
Oh, remember, Dave has allies. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Dave has allies, so that main line cannot be
That's
moved.
right. He cannot move the main line. He can't
bring
the whole line because of those allied heavy foot.
Yes, there is no main line actually. There are three routes.
He just used 2 points already just to move these Lightfoot
Yes.
and this rabble and heavy foot.
Well, that's not a bad idea. I mean, if you go forward with your advantage flank, you keep the position with artillery. I mean, let the elephants move. Each move will do 2 points, and if the artillery manage to just push back one of the elephants, that's 2 points. each, and then the other part. I mean, 1 elephant back, and that would mean 5 points for Mark to move the whole army.
Yep. Yeah, with the elephants in the middle of the line, shooting an elephant out of formation will slow him down a lot.
Okay.
Looks like they're done with Dave's turn, and Mark's going to roll. I think.
Mark rolled the 3.
He's got a 3.
Let's see what he does. I mean,
I'm still really nervous about that general in front of that artillery.
Yes.
The Jav Cav general, he's going to be a 2 getting shot at.
Oh, he doesn't.
The artillery will be a 3 because it's going to be a 4 minus 1, so it's 3 to 2. And if he doubles, if 3 to 2 is really risky, you getting shot at. We have no recourse.
Why is it 3 to 2? Sorry.
Well, okay, so artillery's a +4 when shooting.
Yes.
And Jav Cav are a +2 when receiving fire.
Yes.
But because it's the general, it's a -1 to shoot at the general. That's the bonus.
It's a -1. Oh, I thought it was a +1 to the.
It's not a +1 to the general. It's a -1 to the guy shooting at the general. It's different than combat.
Okay. That's interesting actually, because it's more probable, I think, that you double a base when you have a 3 against a 2 instead of a 4 against a 3. So yeah, that's even worse for Mark.
Little bit. You're lowering the number. Well, you're lowering the artillery number.
Okay.
And the reason that we do it that way is because there's certain cataphract generals and elephant generals and stuff where you'd end up with some really weird stuff. But so it is a little harder to shoot a general, but it's not impossible. Knight generals are one of the most dangerous things for getting shot at by artillery. You just don't want to put them in front of the artillery.
I think David and I did it wrong again yesterday, because I think we added 1 to the general.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
I think because I didn't know this. Maybe I should have realized yesterday, but I didn't. So it's
no, you shouldn't have realized it. Dave should have realized it.
Well, yeah, it's all on Dave. So now we have that both flanks are going forward. I would turn my main line if I'd be Mark.
Well, Dave can't wheel because he had not enough pips to wheel initially. Mark could wheel.
I think the pikes should wheel. Maybe with the elephants, but not sure. But yeah, the pike should wheel and face the heavy foot, so at least he has the rest of the. I mean. Yeah,
the problem he has with the wheels is he's probably worried about getting that artillery on the flank of the elephant. But I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
This is a very strange for me. I think Dave is actually trying to make a light infantry run to Mark's camp.
Yes. Oh.
See the column?
Oh. Now I see
they're
it.
fast. They're light foot. They go 5. They're in column, so they don't have to group move. They don't have to worry about the group move penalty through the rough terrain.
That's interesting. Yes.
So he's going to send that column, and he has 2 choices. He's either going to hit this rabble in the flank, or he's going to run right to the camp, because Mark's got nothing over here fast enough to stop them. Because the rabble aren't fast enough to catch them, heavy foot aren't fast enough. The elephants are too far away, and his Jav Cav are on the wrong side of the table.
Yep. And Mark doesn't have fortified camp, so that's gonna be.
Well, Lightfoot can take that camp if you give him enough time. So I think Dave's making a sneaky camp run on the right flank. I bet. Well, he's got 2 possibilities. He can get over here, and if he needs to, he'll hit the rabble on the flank.
Maybe I think Mark is going to do, if not the same, maybe the Jav Cav is going to face the artillery. I mean.
I think he's taking this Jav Cav around the flank, and he's going to hit these Lightfoot in the flank and eat them up. Go right down the line like a Pac-Man on the Lightfoot and then the artillery, if Dave lets him.
So we have 4 points. 1 point is going to be the Jav Cav, and let's see the rest of them. He's going to wheel, I think.
No.
I would wheel. I certainly would wheel.
He's going right in. Oh, he is wheeling. Okay. Yeah, I would agree with you, because he needs to keep those Lightfoot off his flank as long as possible, but they're so slow or so fast compared to the rabble.
At this point, I wouldn't care about the Lightfoot. I mean, if Dave wants to,
he's got no response to these Lightfoot over here.
That's
Dave
why
can do anything he wants. It's going to be a command. The biggest defense that Mark has for these Lightfoot is Dave rolling crappy command points and having problems in other areas.
Yes.
Because his general is back here. So once they get past Marc's main line, they're going to be a little bit too far away to command.
That's right.
So what Marc's got to do, his best defense now against those Lightfoot is to wheel and to give Dave so much pressure on his flank, on his other flank, that he can't spend the points on the Lightfoot.
Actually, I could. The thing is that I could go forward and try to face, rabble against Heavyfoot. If you can manage to win that side, and then advance with the Lightfoot on the right flank, ooh, that's amazing. Oh, and now the elephants moves a bit far faster, so that's interesting. Be careful.
So he's gonna move the elephants up. It looks like he'll still be out of artillery range for a turn or two.
Yeah.
But I think he's doing what you were saying. He's gonna detach this left flank to hit these guys and hope to win. But I do think that Dave, if that happens and Dave thinks he's got a threat, he'll turn these in. But remember, the Heavyfoot can't kill the rabble in a straight fight. They'll just panic them.
He doesn't need to. I mean,
he's going to try and kill these Heavyfoot in Dave's center.
That's it. If he managed to kill the Heavyfoot, then, well, that would be really nice. But I think Dave is going to be able to approach the rest of the pikes. So, not quite good.
And I'd send those elephants straight at the artillery because they've got a pretty good chance of getting there. It's just if the pips sink if they get pushed back. He didn't move the elephants forward. That's interesting. But Dave's got 5 command points, which is just enough to get him into trouble. So he's already created 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. He needs 6 to move his entire army.
Yeah. Well, he rolled a 5, so.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to move the artillery yet. I think I'm not sure. He should wheel the artillery actually at this point almost because, well, you got to do something about this Jav Cav on his flank. He's probably not going to worry about it yet, but I think he's going to send these Lightfoot forward.
No, he's going to wheel.
Yeah, he's going to wheel them and shoot them right up towards the flank of this.
Oh, okay. Yes. Looks like it.
Yep. Now they're gonna advance as far as they can, probably.
Which is 4.3.
See how fast they are? They're really fast. And see that rabble is only going 3, so it's too slow to even hit them. They're out of the rabble's range.
Well, the rabble could stop them, but I mean that's a 3 against a 1.
It could zock them, but they'll just eat the rabble and then the Heavy will be completely defenseless.
Well, if
Marc has got to make something happen on his right flank before Dave does terrible things to him with these Lightfoot.
He should. I don't know why he didn't spend the points before. I mean, he has to go forward.
I don't know. We'll see. He may have an evil plan we don't understand.
Probably. There you go. Okay.
What is Dave doing now?
That's 3 points left. I don't really know.
I'm trying to figure out what he's doing with this lone Heavyfoot out here in the middle of the field. He's trying to refuse that flank is what he's doing, but I don't know. He could have just wheeled this line. I don't know what he's doing now. This is interesting. Oh, okay, he's going to bring the rest of those guys up with him, maybe.
Yes. But why?
Well, he's trying to keep. I think he's planning to win with these Lightfoot. He's planning to win the game with these 2 Lightfoot over here on the flank, to some extent. Move these separately, maybe because they're separate pips, command points, but because that's that allied Heavyfoot.
Oh, we have to remember that well, that's interesting because they should remember that the Heavyfoot is an allied contingency. So if they group up with the pikes,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's making even more command problems.
Yes.
He keeps them in the group with the center instead of keeping them with these Heavyfoot.
That's not a group. I mean, you cannot move.
It's a group for combat and everything else, but it's a group that requires an extra command point to move all the elements, all the stands.
Yep.
So Yeah, I have to be careful with my language. I have a tendency to say you can't group move. This thing in the center can't group move. It technically, it's semantics, but the gist of it is they are a group for combat purposes.
And movement also, but not they are
Not for
separate in the
command.
cost.
Not for command. That's the problem.
But it's just a group that costs 1 extra pip, like if
Correct.
it were an artillery. So artillery is going forward. Just I would
Yes,
go forward.
he's going to wheel it because he's worried about that jab cap.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I was going to pull up the Allied command exact wording because it's a subtle difference. Interesting. So he's bringing those guys up.
I would have placed my Javcav at this point. I would have moved my Javcav if I were Dave to face the other Javcav, just to be sure.
Right. So this is very important. So Allied commands during tactical movement phase may not move as part of a group or column that includes stands from the main army. So they're groups for combat, but they are not groups for movement.
Oh.
They're just flat out a separate individual element. So if you have a stand of Allied and a stand of main army, two of them next to each other, 2 command points to move them, and they don't cause the forced conforming. So they're not as coordinated, and so there's the penalty for taking the Allied command.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know why he kept the heavy foot back like that. That's kind of unusual.
We have comments here. I think Marc should do an oblige of liquid advance like Alexander in Gaugamela, simply leaving his left flank behind and pressuring with the elephants and his strong arm. Yes, that's what I would have done before. I think that always in this kind of battles you should press and push where you have the advantage. He's doing it, but with the S1 stand. If he had the general and the Lightfoot and the skirmishers near or close enough to make that, I don't know. One stand is not going to make a difference.
I don't know why he put so many Lightfoot and skirmishers on this flank and didn't leave any on the left. I don't know what he was thinking with that particular plan, because they're really, even though they're fast, they're so far removed from the battle right now.
I actually like it, but then you should move everything and wheel in everything just to face the things.
I would have thought he was going to wheel this right flank. I think he's doing what Dave's trying to do. So Dave's trying to win with these 2 Lightfoot, and Marc's trying to win with this 1 jab cap.
That's not how it should work.
Well, I mean, one stand in the right place at the right time can be pretty messy. So this jab cap right now could hit these Lightfoot in the flank, and it would eat them for lunch.
Yep. Michael says, Arcane, what is the difference between the current TTS Triumph TTS mod and the beta one? Okay, the beta one is just a mod Marc and I are developing with the further changes you are going to have on the main mod. The thing is that there are many issues. We are not going to upload the mod until we have fixed them, but you can find on the beta mod. You should, but I'm not quite sure. At some point, you are going to have all the plain armies. We are actually taking them from Meshwesh. So at some point, you are going to be able to spawn any army you want. We are working on that. It will take some time before we start including new armies or anything else.
And this is going to be with the flats, right, Arcane? Until we have to get it, because you don't have figures for every possible.
No, we don't, and we won't have figures. I mean, I'm sure there are some armies that actually don't have figures for them. So we are going to use the flat bases you sent to me, Rod, and I think we already have. I mean, the last session we had, Marc and I, we.
Ooh. Oh. Whoa. That's interesting.
Yeah. Marc is trying to go back with the group, but he should remember this is not the beta. And in the beta, you will be able to take a group and go back, which is interesting because many people does that mistake. But Now you
Yeah, it's not a
cannot.
group. Well, it's not a group move. You mean he wants to try and do the back up with the entire line, but that's not a group move. So if he wanted to back this line up, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pips.
Yep.
I think he swung this guy into that zone of control, and I don't think he meant to do that. I think he's just trying to zone of control the 2 light foot with the rabble, which is not a bad move, actually.
Well, it's not ideal, but yes, at least you
no,
have.
if he doesn't slow them down, they're going to run right past him and either hit him in the flank or they're going to hit his camp. Actually, I think if I was Dave, I would probably hit his flank with one of them at least, maybe 2
Yes.
of them. And then I'd still have the option to go for the camp later.
The rubber moves 3, right?
The rabble move 3. Yeah, they're not very fast.
No, they won't have the movement to do that. I don't know what Mark's trying to do.
He's trying to not get hit and stop them from going to the camp.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's got the wrong dudes for the job over there.
I think Mark is playing Dave's game. I mean, he wanted Mark to be afraid of the left flank, and he is. Instead of going forward with the flank where he has the advantage, which is the right one. Right now, I could go forward with the elephant, and if Dave rolls less than 2 or 3, or I mean
Yep.
less than 4.
If Mark started pressing, see, Mark's still in a better command situation because
Yes.
he's got 2, 3 groups counting the jab cap. If he pressed with these elephants, the only way he can stop those light foot at this point in time, realistically, is to out pressure Dave on command points.
That's it. So make Dave spend the command points in other things
Right.
instead of the light. But right now he has all the. There you go. He's
There
going
you
into
go.
the trap.
I don't think I would use those guys to do it, but
Nope.
that's a possibility. Well, he could overwhelm that guy, but he doesn't. That won't be combat the way he's doing it there. He's got to actually move and then rotate. I don't think he's got the movement. What is that?
No.
I can't see the movement scale.
He doesn't have
If
it.
that's 3. See, the problem is if that's 3, the guy on the far right, or far left of Mark's line, the heavy foot on the far left between the next to the rabble, he can't get into combat. He doesn't have enough movement.
That's it. Yes.
So all he'd really be doing at this point is doing really a close zocking. Interesting. No, Mark, I would leave this line that he has in the center right where it is, and I'd push the elephants and the light foot forward, and I'd push the jab cab into that light foot.
Yes.
And he needs to start making this jab cab do what he put it out there to do. And that's not go after the camp. I would take out a bunch of this stuff first. The camp is very tempting. But remember, if he takes the camp, it's 8 points and he loses the jab cab. Right now, that jab cab is really valuable where it's at.
It is. It's pressure
I
in
think
the
also
flank.
Mark's a little freaked out by the artillery. He may think that the artillery is more dangerous to the elephants than it really is.
It is dangerous, but it's a 4 against 3.
It's a +3/+3. Chances of doubling is not really high. It could, but the chance of doubling is not very high. It's only going to get, if you time it right, it's only going to get 1 or 2 shots, maybe. The other thing, too, is imagine if you get the elephant on the flank of these pike.
He doesn't have the movement. No.
Well, no,
They're
he's going to have
trying.
to go in. He'll have to go in closer, and then he could do it.
Yeah. He doesn't have the movement. Okay. Still, I think that's not the right move. I could move the right flank or forward. I mean, if you don't want to go with the general against the Javkav, against the artillery, I understand that. But the rest of the bases, the Lightfoot and the skirmisher, they should go all the way forward.
Yeah, actually, if you didn't want to do the Javcav and the elephants right now, I'd bring the Lightfoot and just go full move forward and wheel them in. Because the other thing too is these Lightfoot, they're +3 against the artillery.
That's it.
They could easily go in and take a couple rounds of artillery fire and then hit these pike in the flank and tear them up. Because the pike have nothing guarding their flank except the artillery right now, and it doesn't have a Zoc projected far enough out to really cover it.
Okay, 1 point. No, that's no. You spend all your points.
Yeah, that was 2 to move those elephants forward.
Okay, it's Dave's
1 left.
turn. Did he roll a 3 or a 2 or a 4?
I thought he rolled a 3.
I
He didn't
thought-
move these guys.
Oh. Okay. I'm trying to see it, but I don't see it.
His blue dice, I'm seeing a 3 on the roll. He's counted down to 1, it looks like, but I thought he had rolled a 3 originally, and so he's still got 1 command point left. I'd use it for the jab cab, but did he move the jab cab? Was it a 4?
He did.
Oh, then he should be done.
It should. Do you want to go inside Discord and tell them?
No, not me. I'm gonna leave that for you. You're the voice of God in Discord. Because the blue down there is his original roll, a 3, right?
I think so.
But if he's cheating, he's doing it against Dave. No, Dave's taking his roll. So Dave got a 2, and he's moving his guys.
Oh, okay. I won't tell
Wait,
anything.
whoa. No, Dave didn't get a 2. They're still discussing.
Okay.
Besides, if he's
are you on the
cheating,
side?
he's doing it
Just to
against
be
Dave.
sure,
Yeah.
did you roll Mark 3 points?
3, yeah. He has 1 left.
You moved the Javka before,
Oh, yeah, you did.
and then the elephants, which is 2 points.
Yeah.
Just to be sure. Okay.
You don't have 1 left, Mark, unless you
Yeah.
move the jab cab back.
Okay. Bye. Sorry. We have
Thanks,
we
okay.
have to tell you this kind of things because we are seeing it. That we really
I thought he undid the jab cab, but then the jab cab magically reappeared. So
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Yeah, because if I had 1 more command point and those jab cab had not moved, I know what I would do.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
hit the right foot.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that's 4 points. That's it. Yes. He has to move back the line. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to have it like that.
Yeah, but there's a problem with that. Not yet, but there will be potentially. The reason he wanted to move that line, one of the main reasons. Oh, he's doing the group move. The main reason he wanted to move that line is because he's going to have Pike in a position where if he shoots or pushes the elephants back, they'll get hit.
Dave is helping him grouping the pikes. That's right.
And I thought Marc was the expert on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's what he's worried about. But look, he's not in range. Oh, he is in range.
He
He's
is.
in
Yeah.
range.
I moved the
This is
slide.
the
Somehow
problem.
I can move the slider when I'm a spectator, but that helps me to say things.
Yeah, he can actually pull back, so he's okay. He's got a clear path for the elephants. So he's
Okay.
okay. That was the main thing you need to worry about. Let's see what Dave gets for a die roll here.
Okay. Let's go, Dave. Oh, did he roll the 2? No.
I don't think so. I think he's rolled yet.
There
There
you
he
go.
goes.
5.
So that's that. And now that's Mark's worst nightmare.
That's enough, yeah. That's more than enough. So now the Lightfoot could go towards the camp, or they could actually face the rubble and kill it.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna try and slow that jab cab down with a flanking. He's gonna try and put the jab cab in his eye.
That's interesting. Yes. I think Mark went too far with the jab calf. Before, if the light line, the right flank would have gone forward before, then the idea of facing the jab calf wouldn't be that easy.
Right.
But right now they are too far away. They need at least 2 extra turns and the command points.
Right. 1 second, Arcane. I have to step out for just a minute,
Okay.
and then I'll come back and I'll tell you everything that Dave did wrong with this move.
Okay. There you go. He has the movement, 4.69, and then the other is going to... Oh, that's a 3 against 0. That's going to be quite terrible. He doesn't actually need the rubble. Dave has enough, more than enough. Now go forward with the group. Let's see. He's going to... Oh, to face the elephants. Okay. No, do not hit the move now. You're going to move everything.
All right, what excitement did I miss? Okay,
So the
so he is gonna do exactly what we thought, which is hammer these rabble.
yes, 3 against
And-
0, and now he's going to wield the pikes, but he cannot. He can go with the back part of the vase through the heavy foot.
Well,
But
he has to move that heavy foot first.
yeah, that's it. He cannot.
And they're separate, and it's a separate move. He could wheel. Well, okay, or he could do that.
Well, that cannot be done, right?
No, he can't do that. Well, he has to move. He's clipping the corner.
Yes,
I don't
but
think he's allowed to do that. He has
No.
to move the heavy foot with him.
yeah. Let me tell them.
I don't know what he's doing.
Hi guys.
Yes.
The clipping you're doing it's allowed if you're going to end entirely outside the other base.
Correct.
I think, but you are doing.
It's incidental contact. Arcane.
Okay,
It's wheeling.
Yeah, so
wheeling
as
in a
long as
group
he
is
keeps
fine.
moving.
Thank you though.
as long as you keep moving. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can do incidental contact, but he can't end where he's at right now.
End,
Which I don't
okay.
think that's his intent. He's going to go forward. Yeah, so that's okay. That's not.
That's not. That's not okay.
He's going to fix it. All
There
right.
you go. Okay.
I don't know why he didn't bring the other. Well, maybe he's going to put the other heavy foot up next to the other heavy foot, but I don't know why he didn't just bring the heavy foot with the pike as a wheel. I don't
know.
why.
Maybe he's
He
going
had to
forward.
He just would have had to spend extra command points, is all. So he spent 2 to put the light foot there, 1 to wheel these guys, 1 to move the other light foot. He's got 2 left. Yeah, I know he's not going to leave. I don't think he's going to leave that heavy foot there.
No, I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why he just didn't do that as a wheel.
Okay. Well, that's interesting, actually.
He can do it. It cost him 2 pips.
Let's
Well,
see
what's
the
interesting-
shot.
Yeah, he's still got a shot at the elephant. So he'll probably shoot the elephant. Yeah, he's going to shoot the elephant in the middle to make the most mess.
That way, if he goes back.
Right.
Well, that's interesting. Yes. Okay.
He couldn't get the general, right? I didn't look at his artillery.
Nope. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't think he can get the general.
Uh,
General's one for base.
I still think the right one.
Oh.
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 No doubled. No doubled.
Didn't double him, but that was painful. So it does move the elephant back.
Yeah, I actually think this is the nice one. I mean, the Dave doesn't need to kill anything in that side. He only needs to
No,
make
he's
them
gonna
slower.
win. Dave's going to try and win on the right.
Yep.
He just needs to keep from losing on the left.
Okay.
And like this light foot that he turned over here, he might end up being a sacrificial light foot. But by taking away the Javcav's speed, he's really delayed that whole flank move.
Oh, yeah, doubled. Okay.
Oh yeah, that was probably a given. Well, Rabble is only going to be a 1 because he's overlapped because he put the 2 light foot in there and he's got the 1 on the corner. He's overlapped. He's hit the flank. Rabble's gone. And now he can have his way with Marc's left flank because the heavy foot are exposed.
Well, actually, right now, the heavy foot can turn against the light foot.
Yeah, if he does that though, then these guys are going to come charging in, the rabble and the other heavy foot. So
Yeah.
He's getting wrapped on that flank, and he also doesn't even have to continue going after heavy foot. He can take these light foot and just continue after the camp now. In fact, I would break if I had the command points. I'd take one of these light foot after the camp.
Yep.
Or the other thing that Dave might be doing is these light foot. If they run up behind these heavy foot, they can take these pike blocks apart from behind. Ooh, Mark, getting a little frisky.
What happened there?
We're on Mark's command points, I think, and Mark is sending the elephants in.
Yep.
One of them, anyway.
Okay.
But he needs to move these pikes too. He can't leave them there because that elephant will back right into him.
Yep.
But he can move to the 2MU line, and he can slide over to adjust and go in if he's got the movement for it. Yeah, he can do that. Is that? Yeah, he's fine. He's got the movement.
Yeah.
So he's gonna send his pikes in. It looks like.
No. Why
Or
not?
He needs to do it individually, not try to slide them. If he tries to slide them, they're gonna crash.
Let me go with them a bit.
Yep.
Try that.
Mark, it looks like
Yeah.
it broke, right? Somehow the lines. Did you try the Triumph reset?
The lines are fine.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing them
What's
properly.
wrong, Arcane?
Oh, I'm seeing just like the. Well, now are fine. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's just because I had clicked somewhere. That's all.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
So basically, if he picks the pike in, he can take those in, and he can do that as a group move because you have the ability to adjust or align. You can't move oblique, but you can move in and align once you get within a certain distance. Does he have enough? Oh, it's too far.
I don't know. Let's see if they snap. Yeah, 3.1. Yeah.
It's too far.
It's not correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Well, he can stay behind and just go a bit forward and place the elephant next to it.
Correct.
He doesn't need to combat right now. Actually, like we said, the pike against the elephant is not a good match for the elephant.
Well, it's going to be, if he's not overlapped, it's going to be a 5 to 6. So eventually,
Yeah.
Eventually they'll win. They'll push him around.
In the
Something like
best
that.
situation, the elephant cannot kill it.
Correct. We play the classical Indians. We did the great Alexander versus classical Indian battle, and we've done a Grand Triumph version of that. And the pike do eventually win the shoving match.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark's got a bit of a pickle here. He needs those 2 elephants not where they are.
No.
Because he had an elephant that could be backed into another elephant, which is really bad. But he only had 4 command points, so moving the 2 elephants is going to be all of his command points. What he's trying to do is do something that doesn't require him to move both elephants, I think. That's what he needs to do. Right now.
I would still leave the elephants where they are. And move the right flank. I mean, you have to push.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. If he puts the elephant back where it was in its current alignment, he could still back up the elephant.
Yes.
And then what he could do is do something with his jab cab and his light foot, which is that's the only place he's going to win right now is in that area, unless he gets really lucky with eye rolls. I think what he's worried about though is he's getting in a situation where this elephant can get back into these pike, depending on what Dave does with the rest of his army here.
You cannot go forward because the line is not. Yeah, that's ugly as well. Well, he can go forward with the pike. I mean, and win. He can try to win the. Oh no! I'm sorry, he cannot. He cannot. He doesn't reach the. Yeah, there you go.
Right. You can do that.
Now you can face it and then leave it like that. But that way you are leaving the. You are leaving the flank of the pikes open for the. Oh no, right, because you have the suck from the
Yeah,
heavy
you got the zone of control. So his pike block is now close enough to threaten them, and the heavy foot can go in.
No,
if they don't
no,
touch.
that's not going to.
They're okay. He can't move that one though.
No, he can't.
Yeah, Dave will tell him. I think that one there was zocked by the Lightfoot.
Yeah.
Give him a second. Dave will hopefully figure that out.
You tell them because I think they are going to hate me after this this many interventions. You can go there.
I can text Dave. He's checking his phone. Yeah, the heavy foot on the far left of Mark's line should not have been able to advance. You want me to tell him?
Yeah. If that's correct, I mean.
I'll just tell Dave to check.
Okay. Yeah, I still would go forward with the light.
If you can hear me, that heavy foot on the far left of Mark's line, I think he was zocked.
Did they realize? Did they understand what you said? Let's go. Let's go. Let's unlock this and go a bit closer. There you go. Yeah, it was sucked. I wouldn't have gone that far. My points would have gone to the right flank. Maybe the elephant to conform and go forward against the artillery. Or if you're going to advance everything, let the other elephant join. I don't know. There you go. 3.01. Well, that should work. Okay. That's everything, I think. Yes, that's the 4 points. Can you hear me, Rod?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had my. I think.
Oh. Yeah, that's what
Oh.
you were talking about. I'm sorry.
I was talking to them, and I muted you because I didn't want to overshadow.
Okay.
So I told you before, you're really stretching my technical ability. So basically, it looks like his elephant's a little far forward, so he's got to adjust that slightly, unless they're actually doing combat.
Actually, they are doing the combat.
Oh, they're calling that combat. We'll see. They're doing combat there?
I'm not quite sure what they are doing.
I don't know what they're doing now. We'll let them play their game.
Okay.
Yeah, they did combat. They did it as if it was combat. That's interesting.
Now the pikes must go forward.
Correct. The pike need to go forward.
They are not going to do it.
Unless they're... I don't know what they're doing.
Oh, 2 to 5. That's a died. No? Oh no, it's a 3.
It would have been. It would have been. Marc. Yeah, Marc would have had a 9, and they would have had a 5. So he didn't double them, but he pushed them back
Okay.
into line.
Do you tell them the pikes? I'm going to tell them the pikes.
Why don't you tell them? Because I'm not sure they heard me the last time.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. The pikes should have gone forward, right?
Yeah, thank you. It's okay. Lots of distractions. We appreciate it. Thank
Don't
you,
worry.
Arcane.
Don't worry. I'm sorry if it bothers you that we are coming here, but we are seeing
No,
this.
no. It doesn't. I'd rather we do it correctly.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they're a little bit messed up because their figures aren't quite aligned, but you get the idea.
Yeah. I think at this point.
Once again, TTS is way more accurate than an actual miniature.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So.
It is. It is.
Now you see the problem.
Yeah. Dave's. Well, he has 1 point. I mean.
No, but you see the artillery shot.
Oh yeah. Sure. That's it.
If he hits this elephant, now that the elephant's been pushed back and turned, this elephant will back into the other elephant and kill them both
Oh.
with an artillery shot. The artillery shot heard around the world. Now the other thing that he can do now is he can attack this heavy foot and wrap him, which is not bad, or he could just send these Lightfoot forward to take this pike block apart.
Yeah. I mean, you with one. Oh, he only has 1. Okay.
He only got 1 command point.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. Whoopsie.
Yep. With 1 command point, maybe the smartest one would be align the heavy foot with the other heavy foot.
That wouldn't be a bad move. The other thing he could do is he could actually hit the Javcav in the flank, but I don't think I'd do that. I think I would do what he's doing now, which is wheel that line.
Okay.
Wheel
What
that
happens?
line.
What happens when both groups are like that?
If two groups hit, nothing. It's just incidental contact. So essentially, they're just in really close docking.
Okay.
So there's no combat where that heavy foot is.
Okay.
But he also doesn't get the benefit of taking overlap if this group came forward. But right now, the way they've got these two groups lined up, you can't actually move these groups into contact and get an overlap advantage.
I see.
A little bit weird. They're kind of, what they're doing is they're in really close contact. So like if Dave wants to go forward, or if Marc wants to go forward, Dave is essentially preventing these pike from bringing the heavy foot forward because this heavy foot's in the way. Now he's doing that. If he decides to do that, he has to unwheel those guys.
I think I have a bit of lag, and I'm not seeing it properly. Not quite sure what they are doing. Well, that's the point. That's the only point he has. So if that's the final move,
yeah, that would be his move. Now, there's nothing wrong with that move. It's a legal move. He's just stopping. He's stopping that heavy foot from helping the other pike, because this heavy foot is pushing back on him, and they don't have room to get in there and help the other pike unit if he sends the pikes forward. But once again, I don't see an advantage for Marc pushing this fight. He needs to push the fight on the right, but he's got to get these Lightfoot moving. Right now, Dave's about to shoot that elephant.
I think so.
And
Yes.
that's good. You see?
So the elephant goes back, and both are killed. That's a lot of points.
If he gets a good roll.
If he gets a good roll, that's right.
And that's why I would not have turned that one elephant and gone in with it. Because it wasn't the turn that it went in that I was worried about. It's this turn that I was worried about. He's got the range. I don't know what they're measuring now.
I don't know.
He's showing them the arc. So the fire arc is half a base. So Dave has to have from the half a base of the artillery to a corner a clear shot on the flank of the elephant, which he does.
He does.
Clearly, and he's showing that to Marc. And the other thing too is Marc's played a lot of other games. I think he's played a lot of DBA, and in DBA this would be different, a slightly different shot.
The worst part again between the different versions of DBA is the shouting. So when you change
Yeah, the
anything,
tuning is very, very different.
Yeah.
Changed a lot. You know, 3.0 they changed a lot. But in DBA, I think artillery shatters elephants, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I don't know about 3.0.
okay, the elephant goes back, and I think they are both killed, as you said.
Oy vey, that's painful.
It is.
Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch.
It is. Now more than ever, he needs to go forward with the right flank.
And this is the danger with elephants. Elephants can be just as dangerous to you as they can be to the enemy.
Yep.
But now they're out of the way, so...
Okay. 4 points. Well, at least you don't have to spend them on the elephant.
Yeah, Mark's elephant's not completely on the counter there. It's not counting the casualties correctly. Alright, so he's going to go in with that guy. Kind of makes sense.
Ain't it? Why not? The elephant is worth 4 points, right?
Yeah, but he's got an elephant hanging off the back of the casualty counter. It's not counting it.
Ah, it is. You can see the number in the bottom.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at his roll, not his... Yeah, it's got it. He's got it. Okay, so it's 10-0.
Yeah.
Now, Mark's the one that's helping us program these mods, right?
Sorry?
Mark is the one of the guys that's helping program the mod, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I need to tell Dave that he should be nicer to him next time. Oh.
He should. I've been doing the initial programming edition, but now he's adding some new features, which is really nice.
All right. Well, I'll make sure to chastise Dave later if he actually beats.
What
Mark.
happened here?
Nice. Set
Oh.
the general in, and he's going in with the pike.
No,
He
that
can't.
that cannot be done.
Yeah, that can't. Whoopsie. That's exactly why Dave did that. Just stop that. Oi. So he's going with a pike, but he's going to be open. He's going to have to not get the overlap because of that. He's a group. Yeah, I think that in the analysis of this battle, it's going to be these two Lightfoot and these two skirmishers sitting out here doing nothing that is really, really hampering Mark's efforts. Huh. Yeah, Dave's explained to him why that's a problem for the overlap.
Yep.
Now, if Mark starts pushing back with these pikes, it will be a little bit of a problem for Dave if Dave doesn't do something with his Knight General, who's not aligned with the rest of his units.
Well, but that would take 3 turns until it.
Yeah, it would take at least 2 or 3 turns to move him back, and
Yeah.
I think that before that happens, Dave's going to turn these pike on the flank of
Yes.
Mark's pike.
Yes.
This is the problem with pike blocks. When they have no flank protection, they're really vulnerable. You'll notice I have a tendency to use my heavy foot on either flank of my pike block, and then maybe light foot on those, because I really, really worry about this situation where you've got a pike block completely exposed on one flank, or a heavy foot exposed with pikes next to it.
What's happening? Is he leaving that?
I don't know. Dave might be saying that was close enough that he's letting him have that overlap. I don't know, or I'm not sure how they're.
I don't
handling
know.
that.
Okay, that's a win for. Not doubled, but really close.
Yep, but that's okay because that Lightfoot's not there to win. That Lightfoot's there to stall the jab
Yeah,
cap.
it is.
That's all that Dave cares about.
That's 2 against 2.
Now this one is going to be a 3 to a 2.
Down to a 1, down to a 2, because of the artillery. Oh no, it's the general. It's the general.
It's the general. So he's going to be. It's going to
Oh,
be a 3 to a 2,
tie.
and they tied.
Okay. Well, at least. Okay.
Hmm. Interesting. So we're doing the pikes. It looks like they're going to do push-up pike. Versus heavy foot.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Pike are going to go back.
Yep. Even with the advantage.
Yep.
So now it's a 5-3, right?
5-3. Yeah. Still, it still ends up being a push usually, because 5. You know, when you're adding 5 and 3, unless the dice are extreme, it's not that bad.
Well, you can have 1 against 3, 2 against 5 or 6.
You can start to kill things when you get double overlap.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what Dave's explaining the double overlap right now with Mark, because I know Mark's a new player in Triumph, but I know he's got experience with other games. We got a 6 to a 6.
Okay.
So Mark survived that round.
Okay, Dave's turn right now.
Yeah, Dave needs to move his pike forward. He will probably.
Oh, the light foot against the heavy foot. 3-3.
Dave needs to move his pike forward. Now he'll do it. We'll give him a second.
Oh.
Uh-oh. What we got
Almost.
here?
Almost.
Almost.
Let's do you want to tell them the pike?
I can. Hang on a second. Dave, you moving your pike forward? Yeah, he did. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if that was because I told him or because he realized it.
I don't know. It was quite fast. Maybe he didn't need to. Okay.
So, did Dave roll a 2?
Yep.
What's he gonna do? All right, he's trying to snap his own stuff all together. They kind of got a jumbled mess over here.
Yep.
This guy should be snapped too. Heavy foot.
There you
There
go.
we go. Well, they made a mess with this. When they did the whole elephant pike block move, they never lined the figures up right. They're not being very careful. Okay, so did Dave get a 2?
Yes. Not much, but enough to take the flank.
Yeah, he's going to hit him in the flank with the pike. And then I think he might do something with the Jav Cav or the Knight General
You should.
on the Jav Cav General.
Yep.
At least I would. But
Yep,
I
I
don't know
would
what else
too.
he's got planned. The Knight General is probably not fast enough to hit this Jav Cav in the flank, but I bet that the Jav Cav is. But maybe Dave's not thinking about that. We'll see. But I would take this Jav Cav and see if I can get him to close the door on this other Jav Cav. The artillery can't close the door. Can't flank him. They're not allowed to move into combat contact. And he wouldn't be fast enough. Believe it or not.
Right. Yeah, I would move the Jav Cav.
Yeah, I think the Jav Cav, I can't tell, but I think the Jav Cav might have enough. It'd be close. I think, I can use the measurement stick, can't I?
At least I'd place it behind the artillery. So, I mean,
Or
yeah.
at least move it closer, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's looking for this. How many did he roll? Oh, he's he's wheeling into contact with that guy.
Yeah.
And aligning for combat. So he's moving this group, this allied group, and aligning with the enemy, which he can do. That can be done for one command point. Which I think that should put that in line with the other heavy foot, which means he's got a double overlap on this heavy foot.
4-2.
So that'll be a 4 to a 2. It's not a bad move. Does put his lineman into order, which is kind of good. I still think I would have went for the Jav Cav General just because it's so juicy. 4 to 2 right here. He's going to do a 4-2 against Mark's heavy foot.
Oh! He won! Whoa! That's interesting.
Wow. Yep. So Mark pushes him back. And now we have... Now he could do the flank combat first, which kind of surprises me that he's not.
He should. He should.
Yeah, I would do the 3-2 on the rear guy first, but I think he's going for a kill on the front.
There you go.
He got it. He got it. And now he still has a chance to do the other guy. Oh, I see what he did. So now when he does this guy, he's also he's not trapped, but he will be, because what happens is when he turns, he can't back up.
Right.
So over here we got the 3-2
Okay.
for the jab cav versus the
3-6.
Ooh.
Okay. Not enough, but at least he went back.
Yeah. But
Okay.
the jab cav don't follow up, so the general won't follow up.
And
But now he still has this combat over here on the flank, which I don't know if he's done yet. That's what he's doing now, I think.
Yes.
Or do they switch right to command points? What happened with the rear guy?
I don't know.
I didn't see that combat happen. Maybe he did roll it against the front.
I think Mark rolled the... Oh, the blue. Yeah. Okay.
He rolled 5.
He rolled 5.
Now he's getting something going. Yeah, whoa, whoa, whoa.
That
There
might
you
be... This may be too late. But
Yeah, that's the problem, is I think this flank's kicking in, but it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
Dave's going to roll this center up pretty quickly, I think. We'll see. He's going to get another pike here in a minute, and when he gets the other pike, that'll put him at what he needs for the victory. He only has to get one more kill. One more non-rabble kill. Oh. Sometimes I wish I had an earpiece listening to what they were saying.
Yes. Yes.
But I'm watching it, and it's like, okay, so they're discussing the different options here. So Dave's only got to get one more kill, and he's probably got a sure thing with this one pike. And Mark rolled a 5. He wheeled these guys, and now he's going to push these other pike in. It looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, try it because he's got he's got a heavy foot that's got an overlap on it. He might be able to do something there. I think he needs to do something with the cavalry.
He should.
But he's odd, so he's gonna have to keep fighting the light foot he's already fighting. But at least if he pushes him in, he's got a chance.
I'd still go forward with both Jeff Cap.
At this point, you kind of got to go forward and hope for something good, because if he could kill those two, he's going to push the heavy foot in.
That's 1, 2, 3.
He definitely doesn't want to sit there with his general.
Nope. He should go forward.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I would, because otherwise he's going to get shot.
Yep.
He needs to get past the front arc of that jab cab. Or sorry, the artillery. He's got to get the jab cab past that front arc. Yep, that's what I figured. So he's going in with those. Did he have enough for that? Yeah, he would have had. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's 5.
Okay.
Going there first.
Perfect. I think he was measuring the command range. Yeah, you
He
read.
was in range.
Yeah, he
in
was.
range. Yep. Okay, so where are they starting? Right there?
I think so.
It looks like Jav Cav on Lightfoot, so 3-2.
Okay. 2 and 3. Okay, again, push it back.
Push back.
Let's see the general now.
Which is bringing him closer to his line. And now we have another 3-2 because that's a general, even though he's overlapped. That general bonus counteracts the overlap. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a problem, yes.
Yeah, because that means Dave gets a shot on his next turn.
Yep.
If there is one, we'll see.
Next one.
This could end it right here. He actually wants to fight this one first. Because if he fights the other one and the pikes go forward, they'll take the overlap off this other pike.
Yep.
I'd fight this one first. Because right now, it's going to be
There you go.
still a 2 to a 4. It's not good. So the pike block, Dave's pike block is going to be a 4 because it's overlapped.
Yeah, on the
And
support.
Mark's going to be a 2 because he's a single pike stand overlapped. Yeah, I'd still fight that one first. Because it can't get better, it can only get worse.
Yep.
I think that's what Dave's explaining to him right now. Yep. Alright.
Doubled. Okay,
Oh, that's not good. That's
Well,
game.
that's the game. Yeah. Let's see if the last pike can finish.
We got last pike and we have a heavy foot over here, but that won't be enough to make the difference.
At least it's not flanked, so it's a 5 against a 2. Yeah. No, 3. Sorry, 5 to 3.
It'll be 5 to 3 because the overlap's off now. So Mark will have a 5 to 3 advantage.
Okay. Yeah, doubled.
Doubled, so he killed that one.
Well, at least
That's
that's
A little bit of revenge.
Yeah.
A little bit of revenge is good. And then we have over here we're gonna have a 3 on 3 with the heavy foot and the light foot.
Let's see, 3 to 3. 6 and 2. Almost.
Yep. And that's game.
That is. Okay. Well, let's go with them if you agree.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm gonna mute you here and let's go there.
Alright, muting this one.
Just make sure they don't get misaligned.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey guys, sorry we kept messing up the rules. We had to
Don't
keep-
worry, don't worry. The good and bad thing is that we have to act as referees. If we are seeing things, you are going to be recorded, and that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
It's
can
just
you guys-
stuff we forgot. So
Yeah, Dave, can you hear me?
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, I didn't know because I had you guys quiet because I didn't want to be too intrusive.
Mess up Arcane's magic. Yeah.
I don't want to mess up Arcane. Yeah, I can't understand what Arcane's doing half the time because of all this technology.
We're old. I know.
Yeah. So obviously, both of you decided to win on your right flank, and you got your right flank plan going faster than Mark did.
Yeah.
And Mark discovered the curse of elephants. They can be just as dangerous to themselves as they are to the enemy.
Yeah. The misalignment. That once they got slightly misaligned, and he didn't
Yep.
have command points to
Fix it.
move the other one. The artillery broke up the 2, and he didn't
Yep.
have command points, so he moved one in at an angle, and then suddenly it was falling back onto the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was actually unlucky he lost every combat with the elephant. Both both times I tried to shoot the elephant, it fell back, and also the combat against the pike as well, he fell back. So
Yeah. Interesting. Although I did think that I was really surprised with the way you were moving your allied group, because you split one of the heavy foot off the allied group and creating an even bigger pip sync than you had before.
you're talking about when I left the one heavy foot behind.
Mm-hmm.
I just figured I didn't need both the heavy foot up there. I didn't really want heavy foot on pike, and I thought I was more likely to end up in the situation right now where I had the one heavy foot next to the rebel.
Mm-hmm.
Once that other heavy foot moved up there to support it, ended up dying. So I left him behind just as a I mean, I could have pushed it with, but I didn't want to make it easy for him to get his pike into the heavy foot, and I moved it up later. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, interesting. And I saw you had the column, and of course, I think the column of light foot running towards Marc's camp, also being on Marc's flank, was not very reassuring for him either, because they could have gone away.
Yeah, I think he was very well committed to the other flank. He had so many troops on the other flank. If he had just had maybe one or two of his light troops on this side,
Yes.
it would have changed it a lot.
I actually think both deployments are nice. The thing that I would say is that I think Marc, by the what you did. I mean, your moves were like you're pushing on the right, and he went towards you instead of going forward with the other flank. That would have been interesting.
Right. Yeah. You mean he moved forward his pike?
Yes.
And the heavy foot instead of fully committing to moving the light troops on the right forward. Yeah.
I felt it like it was a trap. I mean, it was your idea to go forward with that side, but if Marc would have gone forward with the right flank, you wouldn't have think about that flank. I mean, you would have spent more points on the left flank and worrying about. I mean, he has like 3 or 4 extra bases on that flank as well. You both did.
Right.
So
yes, I think you're correct. And I was worried that I was going to have to commit my general and the Jav Cav that are in the center right now to defend my left, which would have endangered my aggressiveness on the right. I would have had possibly command control problems if I moved the general too far over to defend. So I agree with you. I think moving the all of his stuff on his right forward together, even if it meant the Jav Cav would move a little bit slower, I think if he had kept them together, he'd get them forward in mass.
Well, the Jav Cav idea was really nice. What I meant is that the Marc's plan was, I think it was better than yours, because he could have run all your left flank until the artillery, and that would leave you with nothing to defend that part. But when you have a plan, if you don't stick to it, you keep losing in the other side.
What were you gonna say, Marc?
I had to move these guys forward faster. That was
That's all I wanted to say. if those guys were like 1 or 2 movement ahead, the artillery and the other light foot and everything would have been gone, and with the elephants behind, maybe the light foot column would have gone until they reached the camp. But I don't know if the general was too far away, or maybe Dave didn't have many command points. He would have to think about where to spend them. If taking the general.
What we were thinking, Marc, as we were thinking out loud, was once you were deployed and you didn't have enough light foot on your right or your left flank to counteract Dave's right flank, the best defense you had was to pressure Dave's other flank with your right so hard that he didn't have the command points to spend on that little light foot column that was trying to sneak around. That would have been your only defense that we could see, was make him not have the ability to command those guys because he was getting so much pressure.
Yeah.
Which is actually what he did when he pushed back your middle elephant. In the moment the middle elephant went back, you had to spend too many points to move everything.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
Actually, the trouble with the elephants is if they cannot stay aligned, they were dead.
Yeah, basically, yes.
You gotta get them. Yeah, you gotta get them into combat because once they get into combat, then they stay.
Yeah.
And you don't need command points to keep them in combat. But if they end up boinking out into space and don't stay in combat, then they're just a huge sink.
Right, and that's exactly what happened. Right, on the first turn that they went to
Yep.
combat, they got pushed back.
Yeah. Yes. I'm thinking the whole league that I am so sad that I realized too late that my Lysimekid army didn't have elephants or artillery because they came later in the years that we are playing. And now that I'm seeing so many games with so many trouble on the command points with the artillery and the elephants, I'm really glad I didn't take them.
Well, yeah, I was feeling the same way about the ally in this army.
Yep.
The ally is really neat, but it's a pain. It's like
It's a pain in the
what
ass.
you were saying. I couldn't split the ally up. It has to be on either the left or the right. Otherwise,
Yep.
I have command problems. So I had to leave my left, less. There wasn't a lot on the left.
And it's
So-
interesting because while Mark would have moved all the line with 2 points because of the elephants, with 2 points that you rolled in the first turn, you couldn't because you have the first group, then the right flank with the column. That was another one, and then the artillery. That was 4 points. So you started your game with 4 command points to move everything. That's terrible.
Well, I felt like I needed the light foot on the far right.
Yeah.
And so they were just going to be on their own for command points. At least I kept the ally together. But I knew that if I had just rabble on the right, it wasn't going to be enough to pressure him on the right.
I think you're right.
Over there.
Actually, it went up nice.
Initially, Dave, I thought you were going to throw the rabble at the elephants because of the "they can't die, they panic" rule. Because they don't die when they fight, and they can shatter the elephant. Which, if you'd killed the elephants with the rabble, it would have been so much more impressive than killing them with just back.
It would have been amazing. It would have defied the odds if I had killed the elephant with the rabble.
Yeah.
But the problem is that I think you've gotten very cautious with your rabble because every time you use the rabble, which you love, you keep throwing them into combat and getting them killed. And I noticed that in this particular battle, you didn't fight with them at all. They just stood around and looked pretty. So
well, they didn't stand around and look pretty. They were moving forward aggressively, but my general policy with the rabble is to be just a little bit less willing to throw them into combat. So
what was that comment, Mark?
No, they did a very good job because that's what kept me worried on my left, right?
Yeah.
There's a sheer mass of them. It's like a horde moving at you. You don't know how dangerous they are or not. There's an awful lot of them.
I think
they just contribute to flanks, right? So
yep.
Like, they don't have to fight on their own. They just have to give flank support.
Yep. Yeah.
If they were flying monkey rabble, I might be a little bit more aggressive.
There you go. So when Mark gets the flying monkey rabble flat base into the system, we can start playing some fantasy with my flying monkey rabble.
Not happening.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for the game.
Guys. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
I'll see you now, Mark. Give me 5 minutes.
Signing off, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Good game, Mark.
And Rod, do you hear me? Do you hear me? I can't hear you. Oh, he's still... Okay. Well, I went out. I'll leave the game here, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. Next time, well, I hope this is a league again. I don't know how many we have left, but I have to play 3 extra games. So, see you next time.